Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. I'm Brendan Lee. In this video, I want to talk to you about something that I heard that some top performing athletes have challenges with and address it with you. And this also applies to other top performers and or as you progress through things. I wanted you to consider this. I thought it might help. Empower you, in the sense of you can get something out of this and use it to be powerful, more powerful. I want you to consider that your image of yourself is not who you are. You are not your image. Now, let me see. What do I mean by that? Well, let's consider what an image of you is to start with, right? Like, for example, when you're going out and about, say you're young, right? You start growing up, you start doing stuff, and then you start, say, playing soccer or something like that, right? You're playing soccer, you're playing a sport, and then isn't it true that then you become, at least in your experience, you're like, well, hey, what's up with you? It's like, well, I'm a soccer player. And you start to become that. I'm a soccer player, or because that's what you're doing. You see, you're playing soccer, you play enough soccer, you're a soccer player. You're a baseball player. Right? And then you have other stuff that you become identified with. Ergo, it's like if I say, how do we know a person? Let me back up a little bit. It's like, how do we know a person? Right? If I just show up to you and I don't talk, right? And you've never met me before and I'm just here. Boom, I'm a body. Okay, you can make observations about the body itself. You can say, okay, hair there, not there, but I'm pretending that it is there, even though it's not, or leaving. I'm not bald. I'm bald. Okay, I keep it real short and it's going away. You make observations. Eyes, nose, mouth, right? Just the body here. You wouldn't know what I'm capable of. You don't know my character. At what point do you start making judgments? Well, you might start to make assumptions and judgments about my character based on my clothing and appearance generally, right? If I were to dress up in a robe with beads and have long dreadlocks and messy appearance and probably hang out and smoke some dope, whatever, maybe I get a neck tattoo. Do you see how even just imagining, imagine I had a big old neck tattoo right here and a grill. Hey man, I got a grill and a neck tattoo, right? What are you going to think? And maybe a flat cap sideways and a big baggy t-shirt. What, gangbanger? What are you going to think, right? You'll make judgments and assessments based on my clothing. You'll think of me like that. And then I open my mouth. As soon as I open my mouth, now you make all kinds of other assessments. Oh, wow, like tone of voice. How does he talk? Does he talk like this? Does he talk like this? It's like the sound, the timbre, how smooth it is. Is it sharp? And you see all that. My character is manifested. What you have is my character. And then to take it down a notch, it's like that guy. Well, he dresses like that. He talks like that. You'll peg that person as that. That's what the person becomes. For you, right? That's a person out there, right? There's somebody out there. And then I open my mouth, so how do you know a person? Through what I say and what I do. And you also do the same with yourself. That's how you know you. You know you. How do you know you? Well, primarily through memory. And what's that consist of? What you've done and said over the years. Also, what has happened. You might have you have memories of things that have happened and how you related to those, and you'll start to think of yourself in those terms. Like, that's who I am. I am this memory and this reaction. Like, if somebody did something and then you ran away, you're like, I'm a coward, and you might think of yourself as a coward because of the action. You have the action and the conclusion, I'm a coward, which is a thought that you concluded about that through deducing what your actions were cowardly, right? If you start acting bravely, you will identify as brave. Right? And So then that becomes you. When I say, who are you, what are you going to tell me? Now, if you've done some of this work, you already, as if know the answer. If you haven't done any of this work, just at a base level, who are you? I'm a fireman. I'm a baseball player. Are you good at what you do? I'm all right. No, I could be better. No, I'm really good. Or I'm really good, but it's completely false. You see, I'm a liar. Whatever you have going on. Now, one of the challenges, so you got that? Like this you business. When you say you, what are you talking about? And how do you know you? A lot of it's memory, images you have in your mind, thoughts about the kind of person. Like, what kind of person are you? Do you see how you have, likely in your experience, you have like a way that you are? You are some way, and that's your way, isn't it? Right? Okay, so now, coming back to these athletes, one of their challenges is dealing with when they are coming up, as far as I've heard, they're at the top. Because like the major leagues or the top professional athletes, they draft the top. The top athletes, which is to say, compared to their peers at the time, they shine. They're like the shining stars of athletics in their high school or college, right? And then at some point, they join in another league, which then they may have to deal with losing that status. Because now maybe they're among the greats or something like that, and then you will then compare yourself to this new environment. There will be a comparison. And then you'll go, oh, wow, I thought I was hot shit. Now I'm just not. And then also there's, I think in like Major League, well, at least in the top professional world for sports, you have a record. And that becomes, you compare yourself to the record, and then you compare your record to the records of other people. And then you lose that special status, and now you have to eat some humble pie. And so it seems to me that people can relate to that loss of status many different ways. For some, it's too much. You know, oh, I'm not as good as I thought I was, and it's really, really tough. And part of the challenge with that loss of status is, at least from my perspective in the work that I do, consciousness work, check out Peter Ralston, Brennan Lee, stuff like that, right? And if I really think I am the thing that I'm losing, when I lose it, it is a big problem and can potentially feel like life or death. Even though it's not, intellectually we can grasp it's not, it can feel that way. It can feel like a major loss, like, oh, this is a crisis, right? So how do you handle that? Well, one thing you can consider and start doing is consider that who you are as a being, like at your core, is not what you do. That's not who you are. Who you are is not who you think you are. That's who you think you are. You aren't your image. You can actually free yourself from having to be an image and recognize that an image is something that you think. It is not something that you fundamentally are. Okay? And that can free you up. And so I want to invite you to the possibility of grasping this experientially. And then and what I mean by experientially, I mean you can have an insight and go, oh, you can grasp the nature of this, what we call an identification, but it's basically thinking you're something that you're not. Okay? I am this and I need to be this. Well, you never were that, and you don't need to be that. Okay? You're already free. You're free from that. It's okay to be free from that. It's okay to grasp that who you are is not a baseball player, that who you are is not a football player, that who you are is not your image. Who you are being, your being is not the image. It's not, and also who you're being is not what other people think of you. It's not even your character. That's who you are being. See, you act those things out. You are that character. The character is not you, fundamentally. And so you can free yourself from this. Now, one of the challenges that people I find that run into this is they have this problem. This is a common issue. Yeah, but if I free myself from it, why would I do anything else? I wouldn't be driven to do anything else. This is coming from a way of thinking that where you think that you need to be driven in order to do something. You actually don't. You can be a free agent and then still master your sport, master your craft, master the job you need to do, master the business you want to build, rise through the ranks of whatever. You can be a free agent and do it. You don't need to be driven. Not in that way. And I don't think we have really culturally recognized this possibility yet. This is why I'm telling you about it. I want to invite you to consider this. It's like living in another world where you can simply create what it is you want to create. And if you are free, you could actually likely do it better. Right? Now, just to add to that, the people who I've listened to, talked to, experienced, been around, or whatever that are top performers, like the tippy top, they do a metric fuck ton of work. All right? They work it to death. And so when it comes to being driven, I do see the possibility that it's useful to have a certain type of obsession. If you want to perform at that level, you have to train your butt off. You have to put in the hours, and you have to do it ferociously. I mean, I don't see another way. I don't. Okay, so if you want to perform at that level, just know that there may be a level of work required that is extreme by normal standards, but you're not looking for normal standards. If you're looking for abnormal, you got to do abnormal shit. All right? So just wanted to add that in there too in the mix. But in terms of the emotional struggles, all right, I want you to consider a possibility of one, freeing yourself from that so that you don't need to be the baseball player and recognize that you are not the image of the stuff that you want. Now, if you want the high... It is possible to rise up to a new standard, and perhaps also to take into consideration that when you realize you're not that good as what you thought, this opens the door to large amounts of growth. See? Like one story I have is like I used to train Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu at a gym in San Francisco, and there was a guy in there. He was so strong. But that's all he had was his strength. And I knew that if he were to give up his strength to train differently, all of a sudden what he could do on the mats would no longer be good anymore. He would lose his skill, but he didn't really have much skill. He just had a lot of power. He would suddenly lose his skill, but what's good about that, and you see now, he might react to that, and especially this guy, because I could tell he was so committed to the way his world worked that he would hang on to it. So he's not going to do that, I'm sure not, because he's like got to be the strong guy. So in either case, he probably won't do that, but you could, where you give up, you're not as good as you think you are. Great! This is a different relationship to have that. Great, now you can learn. Now learn. It's like I love it when I get to train, and I have trained with some top-level black belts before. And I get to roll with them. I get to feel. And I'm like, great. And they smoke me, right? They're really good. And I get to feel what that's like. I've been in that situation. Great. Cool. There's a lot of learning there. See, so perhaps shifting the attitude, and maybe you don't even know that your attitude is something you can shift, and you have to do that on your own. It's something that comes internally to you. Like people can tell you to do it, but then you have to do it. And nobody can do that for you. They can't. See, maybe you shift your attitude to that kind of learning. You go, oh, shit, I'm at the bottom of the rung. Good. What can you learn now? I'm at the bottom of the totem pole. Great. Now, cool. So one, you can shift your attitude. Another thing, the times where I've struggled, where I've been like, I thought I was hot shit, and then I'm like, oh my God, I suck at this. Now I've got a decision to make, right? One, I can take one road. I mean, there's at least two roads you can take. I'm going to give out two, and there's more, right? One road I can go down is beating myself up, being harsh on myself, which I understand that. I get it. I mean, seriously, I get it. No? And then being upset. Thinking that and then here's the mistake with the upset, is thinking that the upset is necessary. It's not. Let me tell you something that perhaps is more efficient, more powerful, and a lot less suffering. The times where I've struggled like that, and I've caught myself, and then I've had to change it because I'm training, I'm working on it myself, right? You see? Or have worked on it a lot, is I'm going down this road, I'm upset, and then I go, Brendan, I'm just hurting myself for no reason. See, but the problem is people usually think there's a reason, but there's actually not. You're upset, you're beating yourself up, and then you're thinking, if I beat myself up enough, it's going to make it okay. Here's a different world. I fucked up. I'm upset. Okay, now, how am I going to ask this question? Instead of being upset, ask these questions. How do I improve? What actions do I need to take to get better? How can I do it? And or how will I make it happen? See how that's a different focus than beating yourself up. The beating yourself up is actually not necessary. What really helps is you take this massively powerful mechanism that you have inside your skull. We call that your brain. Use it. And also what we, in this work, we call contemplation, and consider. Instead of going down this painful road, which again, here's another little side quest to that. I have done stuff in the past. I've watched myself and I notice, oh my God, I'm actually beating myself up to make this okay. And if I beat myself up long enough, that becomes okay that I didn't perform. And I'm like, it's not okay. But I would beat myself up, ergo go through a period of time where I was in emotional pain, self-inflicted emotional pain, for how long? As long as it took for me to finally go, I've done it long enough, I'm good now. And I started noticing that that was an excuse. Beating myself up was actually a very strange kind of excuse where then I would make it okay that I didn't perform. It's not okay that I didn't perform. Now, what's the best thing you can do to perform better? It's not beating yourself up. It's questioning, how do I get better? What can I do? How do I solve this? Ask questions. Your mind, your brain will start working the problem. Beating yourself up is like, imagine that experience. Oh, you're so fucking stupid. You're wrong. You're blah, 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 blah. That's what you're doing with your brain, your mind. You're doing that. Blah, 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 blah. Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. You're so wrong. You're so bad. Drink, snort some blow, whatever. You see, it's like you get into some stupid stuff. Here's more powerful. I didn't do that. Okay, good. You suffer a little bit. Great. Get over it now. What are you going to do about it? Reorient your mind. You can powerfully reorient your mind as an act of will. You can change your mind, ergo control what you do with your mind. This is incredibly important. How can I make it better? What can I do? How can I improve? Or like when I'm training, one of my main mantras is like, what's missing? What's missing? And then especially in sports or athletics, it's not what's missing like thinking about it. It's what's missing in the feeling about it. The feeling, the body feel. I sense into it. I'm talking specifically right now to athletes, people that are training their bodies. I feel with my body. I don't think, I think with my body. Feel with the body. What would be the best? What would be the best? What's the best body feel to do here? Not the thought with the mind. It's the body feel. Okay? So there's that. And what state of mind could I enter that would make a difference? What's the best state of mind to have? Like I know some guys out there, they experience what's called the yips. And that's a mind thing. What are you doing with your mind? And if you're in that, then consider what state of mind would be good to not have that. What body feel would be, what world would you have to be in so that that was cleared up and gone? Yeah? Just considering that matter openly and really honestly, and also, again, consider the feeling stuff, because that's where to put the mind if you're going to be athletics. Thinking is not good. Feeling is good and very smart. You can have very intelligent feelings. And I don't mean emotional feelings. I mean that body sensation, everything below your head. Okay? You can even, as a buddy of mine, guy who I'm working with, he as an exercise, he said, imagine that you don't have a head. You can actually imagine not having a head and feel like that, and then you're just a body with no thinking. See, maybe try that out. Don't know, might work. Okay? So these are some things you can consider about that. So that's when I'm training, when I'm learning, again, like SideQuest, put your feels into it. What's the right body feel? What's the right state of mind? And this massive questioning, not beating yourself up. And don't think that that's necessary, because it's not. It is actually a waste of time. How long are you going to beat yourself up for? 5 minutes? You could have been training that for 5 minutes. You're just beating yourself up. You're feeling sorry for yourself. You don't need to do that. But you can be questioning powerfully, wondering about it with your feelings, like, how do I do that? Like, I saw this guy, he's a ex-pro baseball player, and I saw a picture of his son, a little video of his son hitting a baseball. I was like, damn, look at the hips and the movement on that. Like, you see, it's like, that's it, man, fuck. You fucking nailed that thing. It's like, good, yeah. How to really put your hips into it is really good. Anyway, so it's like just body training stuff. Okay. So, wrapping this up, use it. What I just shared with you, use it. If you do use it, let me know what happens. The purpose of the video is to serve you so you can get better, faster. So, because I do train a lot of people. I have trained a lot of people. And I've worked with people, and I work with their minds. And I do all kinds of work. So both body, martial arts, boxing, other stuff, and then mind, consciousness work, all these things. It's like, this is the work I do. So let me know what your results are. Okay? Hope this has served you. Much love. Take care. Do good work out there. Talk soon. Bye. Thanks for watching. If you find value in the work we're doing here and want to get involved, I have some invitations for you. Join the newsletter and get real insights and weekly facilitation. Check out the school community, the Consciousness Path, and engage with others who are doing this work and access free course material. And if you're serious and want to have major insights and breakthroughs for yourself, you're invited to join a workshop. They're more powerful than you think. Links for all this can be found in the description below. Ciao for now.